Hello everybody, and welcome to the third day of our trying to catch every single dark type Pokemon in the month of March. Today we are in Galar for our first day, and we've mentioned that we're going to be doing a day on each one. And today we are hunting our friend Nickit. So these. So I've done a bit of the knocking out on them. I don't have the full total we need if we want the best of the best odds. But it was one that we had been hunting for a while in my free time. It was that and Wooloo we were trying to get from around here. So I literally just do this circle. It's probably not the most efficient, but it works for me. Once we've done this, we'll probably jump into Zigzagoon. And as you can see, Nickit is not the most popular encounter around here, so that's why we were a bit further behind. It's probably what the fourth rarest of this area, which is the problem. That's why we had Wooloo and Nickit on the run. That's the two we were looking for. As you can see though, yesterday we managed to get 4 shinies, which was good. That's why we like Scarlet and Violet. And it's definitely going to help pad our numbers. That's going to be a fact. We didn't get anything in Legends Arceus, but as we said, we're going to do 2 days on each. But we may do some of like the evening sessions on this one as well, doing these sort of hunts. We did a couple on stream when we were trying to get Wishma, and that was a guaranteed pretty much popular spawn while we were going for that one. So yeah, that's going to be the ups and downs for this one. I knew this was going to be the more difficult of all the games we've got targeted for this, but I feel it's worth it, really. As I said, I've been looking for Nickit for a while. Like, we've been working on the 2 that you can't get in the other games. Like, Rookity is fine, you can get that in Sword and Shield. No, in Scarlet and Violet, and I've got a couple in Scarlet and Violet. And I've also got a Scofed in there, which was an accident, but we got it. So I'm not too worried about that one. We'll worry about normal types another day. I am still partially tempted to carry on knocking things out, but I don't really see too much of a point at the moment. We've done, I believe it was 300 Nickits. So we've got close to our best odds. The problem is when we go for the others. Zigzagoon, only whatever Team Yell have thrown at me. Same with Purloin and Lopard. Absol's another big problem. But again, they're all things we're going to worry about down the line. Like, my hope is not to run into a shiny Wooloo because, well, we've already been trying for that one for a while, and maybe when we do the normal types, we can finally get our Wooloo. We got Wooloo in Pokemon Go as well, which was a little bit frustrating that we got it like day 1 of Wooloo's release because of the Dynamax things it was attached to. So yeah, that was a thing. But as we said, this challenge is going to take us through the 3 games for 2 days a week, give or take. Tomorrow we will return to Legends Arceus. Because it's... we're a bit disappointed we didn't get anything on there, to be honest. I've been doing a little bit of work behind the scenes on that to try and perfect some of the dexes, but I'm too scared to do the dark type ones because you know as well as I do. When I'm not recording it, that's when we'll get the shiny. So that won't be much help at all. So I'm starting to think Wooloo was not... No, Nickit is not going to be easy here. I could double check where else it spawns. I know Feeble spawns a bit more commonly somewhere else. Let's just double check this. Where are we? Feeble is going to be probably down here. There we are, Nickit. Habitats. So it could actually be here. In Route 2, and we get the Zigzagoons, right? So that might actually be better to go there, because then we can do Zigzagoon, Purloin, and... yeah, so we'll have a look, see what it looks like up there. As we said, we're still trying to figure out the best for this game. Okay, so we do have them here, which is what we wanted. And this is more of a up and down path. No, there's no trainers to worry about. They're still low level. I do know that the random encounters could be the Purloins, but probably going to go to areas, no, wild area for them. That'll probably be smartest for me anyway. I'm not going to go out to the lake though to search, we're just going to search up and down this path. Wheelies, Yampers. The other option is to see how easy this is to respawn. I am going to probably knock out some of these Zigzagoons though. As we said, like, we're a long way from being ready to get better odds on them. And for once they're not like level 60, so I don't have to worry. So what is here, just so we know? Oh, there's another Zigzagoon. We'll make sure we do everyone that we need first, but I want to see if I go towards the pond whether it'll change my odds a bit. Probably should have put some like more basic moves, just like tackle with the higher PP. But we learn as we go, right? And in all my time playing this game, I think I've only kind of ever had 3 random encounter shinies. So we know that does reset it. So we can just use this bit of grass, I think. We're not going to attack all of them, we're just going to decide slowly as we work through. I do think Nickit is one of the nicest designs. Fearful's not as nice, but Nickit is a great design. I wish there was more love for them. Okay, we may go up and down then. It's just the path's a bit clearer up here. Nothing worth noting. That Yamper's always going to be there. So I should probably just take that out because it's one of those statics. So what we do is we go round, jump off here, encounter this, and that should delete it from showing up. That's the hope. I'm not going to do a counter because, well, they're very frustrating to keep on top of. I'll be honest. Oh, C-dot as well. Don't really want to do the C-dot line here. It feels a bit of a waste, considering it's in Scarlet and Violet. We want to... Okay, that one's not as annoying. What else is here? Nothing going this way. It's a very annoyed Yamper chasing me down. So what I'm discovering is the type I picked is the rarest spawn. What's that? That's a Choodle. I don't really want to deal with Choodles. Got both of those already, so we're not going to really hunt things that we don't need. Now the question will be, do we pop off and get one? We know we've had some strange luck over the years, where things have gone well, things have not gone well. As I say, this game is one that's kind of eluded me for shiny hunting. Mostly because I've never really done this much detailed shiny hunts before, where we're trying to do literally everything. Why do you keep giving me the special aura Choodles? That's meant to be rare special order, right? Brilliant aura. Whatever we want to call it. But we're only here because it's also got the Zigzagoon spawns. There isn't too much point doing the first route with only Nickit as a potential. And of course my dark types are going to be the rarest spawns. Okay, so we got a Zigzagoon. I know this is probably going to be easier to get in some of the wild areas, but we might as well just take a peek at all of them, beat up a couple of them and see where we are. We don't really want to get to the too complicated ones because I don't really have a good team for shiny hunting in this game. Okay, that's definitely not what I ran into. I think I'm just going to encounter everything and just run. I think that's going to be easier than running back and forth. We'll just respawn stuff quicker. We've got the free spawn, so why not? But I do know that Nickit is a really nice shiny, which is why we are hunting for it. As I say, I do believe Purloin is one of the random encounters here. I believe I found it by accident as well, so it's got a potential for 3 of the dark types we need. Yes, the odds are terrible, and yes, I'm aware of that. And you know, if I do this method, I'm bound to run into one I don't need. I'm hoping we get a lot of Scovits because they just run away. But this is the challenge for this session, really. No sandwiches, no shiny noises, just the basics and see what's here. And that's pretty much how you shiny hunt in Sword and Shield, isn't it, really? I do have some numbers that say what I can get in Sword and Shield, but I really should be focusing on what I need to get in Sword and Shield rather than what I can. And from what I can tell, it is Nickit and Feeble, the Zigzagoon line, the Purloin line, Absol, Carnivine, and I think that was it for this game exclusively. So it's not absolute nightmare fuel. Oh, Yamper will want to attack, won't it? That's definitely not the Yamper I thought I ran into. If I get the phase shiny, I will be a little bit frustrated. But I thought other than Choodle, everything here will have something fresh for me. Now, even if I do get a Rookity, I still need the Corviknight. And Squirper, I do technically need the Greedent, but I'm hoping I can just scare them into running more than anything else. So that's the plan. This is why we're working on 2 different sessions for this. It's going to make the most sense in the long run. But how many do you reckon we can find by doing this challenge? Do you reckon we can get close to the 71? I know there's 2 Dynamax adventures as well, which I don't have unlocked. So there's that problem as well. I will have to find the paths for Yveltal and Guzzlord. I 100% cannot get Guzzlord on this save from my own adventure, so I will need help. I'm pretty sure I could get Yveltal. I can't remember which one is on which. Because I know that one of the X and one of the Y are on each game, but I can't remember which way round it is. And I'm also torn about whether to get the DLC for Shield as well. Like, I've got Sword, does offer more Dynamax adventures for more shiny hunting, especially legendaries, who are a lot more fun to shiny hunt. Can we please give me something other than these 2 types? I probably should look at the percentage of my Nickit hunts. Like, how likely am I to find a Nickit? I'm deliberately not actually attacking everything too, just because I don't really want to improve my odds on a couple of things here. So we both got Rookity in the game and in the community game. Who's ready for a Rookity? If I was doing flying, it wouldn't be too bad, would it? What I've sort of also said is we will be doing a different type each month, with the exclusion of the core 3 starting types and normal, purely because I cannot get them all. The silly thing is I could have said the same with the dark types, because I can't get the Alolan Rattatas and Raticakes. But, hey. And we also know that this is going to take a while. If I could figure out where some of the other spawns will be, it would be helpful, but I'm not the best at actually understanding where spawns are going to be. But I could show off my best shiny in this save. We have a Registeel on here. Okay, so what I'm thinking is this is not the best idea, this area. We're not seeing enough of what we need. We've got some Zigzagoons, we'll do these on the way up. This is one we will probably attack. We want to improve our odds on it, so let's do that. Nope. And we also know that we need 3 of this line, which is not going to be easy to get. But the key thing is we don't want to do breeding. What's the other spawn going to be more? Oh, there is a Nickit. Slightly better. Slightly better. We got 3. I still do prefer the visuals in use in this game compared to Scarlet and Violet. I like the fact that you can still actually see the backgrounds That house is clearly the house there. That's the city behind us. I like this addition to this game. This is why, well, I always say this is the game that kind of brought me back to the genre. I was so interested in how this game looked, how it played, so that's why we returned actually playing this franchise. Why can't you all run away, you silly squirrels? Oops. So with this being the hardest, it's probably the one where we can do the most random stuff. Thank you for the follow. Hopefully you do enjoy our attempts to shiny hunt every dark type in the month of March. This is only our third session. We've had one good one, one bad one. We are currently sat on 4 shinies, with the Alolan Grimer, Muck, Mightyena and the Iron Jugulus. Our main hunt today is Nickit, so let's see if we can find one. We're sort of doing this route because it's got Nickit and Zigzagoon on. But we're not having the best of luck finding them. They are like the 2 rarest spawns I think on this route. Or the overworld spawns anyway. So yeah, that's going to cause me a bit of a problem. What's going to pop up there? Probably oh no, we got another one. I'm still trying to figure out the best area to do this hunting. I was going to use Route 1, but the main reason I used to hunt in Route 1 was because I was also after Wooloo. But we don't need Wooloo for this challenge, that'll be the next one. So let's see how this is going. Like, I'm not really experienced enough to really hunt on this game successfully. I'll be honest. I'm just going to have a look at what this island is meant to present. There's the bit. But it says they can spawn out here somewhere. So I want to see if they're a bit more common out here. There is like a core 3 or 4 that I really need to look for on this map really, or this game. Mainly the full evolution lines of this Zigzagoon, Nickit, Purloin and Carnivine, and I think the final one's Absol. Oh, there's also Pangoro. I forgot we got to get Pangoro. It's mainly because I keep thinking I've got to cut all the pandas. I don't have the knockout numbers on some of these, so we're also not facing good odds on anything but the Nickit. But we do have the shiny charm. So this is turning out a lot better for the Zigzagoons, at least. So I'll take my better odds on these any day of the week. Oh, there we go. There's our Feeble, or Nickit. I always mix up what they're called, even though I love this one more than the evolution. So this is turning out to be a much better spot to hunt. Just for a bit of security, I just want to know what moves it can do to me. Okay, fine. Night Slash. Let's carry on. We've got so many of these. Where I've only ever hunted the low level ones. So it's really only wanting to use Night Slash. I just wanted to make sure it doesn't have a takedown at this level. Foul play, okay. Gonna do a bit more, okay. Okay, so we know we're not great with that. What about you? Oh, I forgot I took the... The movement items can be very annoying when you're trying to hunt a certain thing, can't they? So these challenges are designed more to eventually get a living shiny dex. A living form shiny dex even. And we are not in the best position for that. We've probably got about 300. So, and of the 4 we've got so far in this challenge, only 2 are brand new, being the actual Grimer itself and the Mightyena. We actually got 2 Alolan Mucks in our last challenge, and we got the Iron Jugulus. Hello, boy from Belgium. I am good, thank you. How are you doing? How many do you reckon we'll get in this challenge? Do you think we're crazy enough to get the 71? I would be quite happy if we hit like a 35 to 40 for this month. I think Scarlet and Violet will make this a lot easier. But I don't want to only do Scarlet and Violet. I really want to get some of the shinies in the other games. Okay, so this is not bad for this. Okay, okay. Right, I'm trying to figure out the best routes on Legends Arceus because most of them do involve a lot of searching a lot of the map at each time, rather, or whether it's worth just going for example, just going for Skorupi and then moving on. Very nice. Hopefully you will enjoy the streaming. It's quite nice to set up the Switch for streaming, to be honest. It's not as difficult as what I would call PC games, because it's just getting used to a few of the odd settings here and there. But once you've got it set up, it's really comfortable. Like, as I say, like, I wouldn't be able to do anything but the Switch games. Because, well, this laptop I'm running everything on is pretty old. You got any ideas what you would like to do when you stream, or if you do get round to streaming? Is it going to be just shiny hunting, let's plays, etc.? Completing more of the Origin decks as you were doing? I know it's a lot more difficult if you don't have the capture card for 3DS and everything, but I don't know, you may have modded it up, I don't know. I never actually modded my 3DS, so mostly because I don't really understand how to do it, and I don't know whether the memory card I got in it is big enough to handle everything. It was already a second-hand one, so that's why I've not. It might be one where I could buy another, like one of the cheaper 2DS ones, but to get it modded with a capture card is even more complicated. Well, from my eyes anyway. I wish it was as easy as just plugging a cable in, like it is for our Switch here. So the big goal I would love to get today is just one shiny in this game. I feel that's very ambitious, considering I've seen people do week-long streams on these games and never get a shiny. That's fun though. I've seen a lot of people working on completing the Pokédexes and doing the Alpha Dex. And there's people doing shiny Alpha Dexes and everything, so it's got a nice little market of people playing along with that. It's still something I would love to do, is to build a proper Alpha Dex in that game, but I get distracted by wanting to also shiny hunt, and then when I don't get a shiny I get annoyed. But also on the other news, we have now got our VDSP set up to shiny hunt Arceus. So that could be happening somewhere in the future. I don't know if I want to do it yet, but it's there, it's ready to be used. I keep looking at my Legends Arceus decks and thinking which ones. I was looking through the ones that I've not completed, and some were like Baneri, for example, do some baby doe eyes and beat 2 or 3 more and you've done. Then I got to like Lopunny and it was like endless amounts of moves and stuff, and like, that's what puts me off so much. Well, that's just to get the shiny charm, isn't it? That bit I found is easier than most people think, because you just do a bit of grinding for that one anyway, naturally. And then there's a couple, because the point systems are quite comfortable, so you hit the level 10. Maybe some of the legendaries are a bit more awkward, but you've got to do it anyway just to get the Arceus, don't you? Which is a little bit frustrating too. But to perfect them is very time consuming. Like, I still would love to try the Lavington challenge, but I'm not quite sure if I've got the patience for it. If I'm honest, where you start a brand new save, complete the whole Pokédex before you move to the next area. So pretty much a Professor Oak's challenge. Well, at least the Zigzagoons are coming to us now, we don't need to run after them. That's always helpful. This was also going to be my fear for long term of this challenge, just how hard it can be to shiny hunt in this game. More Zigzagoons, all good. Keep giving us Zigzagoon, please. Then I'll never have to move again. But as we said, we've only potentially got about 10 things we need to definitely hunt in this game. There are things that are available in here, but other games. So I actually did the level 10s for a second time just so I could catch another Arceus in another save. a few months ago, and it did drive me a bit crazy getting to the level 10s. Interesting. I don't know why that needs to be here, because I can't actually get to this island until much later in the game. I think you've got to have, what, 6 gym badges to get the water movement item. Actually get it just after Sir Chester. So how many Zigzagoons will we get before we are going to... Should we knock some out? We'll knock some out just for now. Right, we're probably at about 20 knocked out, so not great. See what does damage really as well. It's always a bit of help to do a bit of research on the non-shiny ones. So what you're saying is you've deleted your good save, or is it just a second dummy profile that you kind of have to get your second Enamorous? It is something that really needs to start being included. The ability to have more than one save file on a profile. I know people will say just set up another profile, but that's not really what the point is. Like, most games now come with more than one save file. So why can't these? Fair enough. I've got a couple of profiles set up for different things now. Because what I'm thinking is, if the Switch 2 only lets me move some profiles forward, and I will probably keep the normal Switch for a while at least, my theory would be that I could move Profile A to the Switch 2, and Profile B could stay on the normal Switch. And then I would technically be able to trade with myself if I get, like, well, if I've got Sword and Shield, I can trade between the two. Same with Scarlet and Violet. I know I can't do it with, like, Legends, but it's something to start with, or even do, like, the Dynamax Adventures on 2 Switches, have 2 games going. That's my theory, and I know you can set up like 8 profiles on your Switch anyway, and add in the fact that Legends Arceus isn't really an online game. At least you don't need the online support to do most of it. Because like this is actually my second attempted sword file, because I caught all the legendaries in my original one, but I didn't want to delete it. The same with my Violet save. I don't want to delete my original Violet save because money in the game. Shiny charm set up. I don't want to have to set it all up again. Even though it's easy to do, just move everything across. I just don't want to have to do it all again. And I've done 3 or 4 saves where I've got a couple of like the Raging Bolts. No, the Iron Crown and iron boulders so I could trade for the raging bolts and gouging fires. That's the one. So there's that. Like for example, we're going to do a Scarlet save, but my main profile is just full of all of the unwanted ones from home, I'm going to call them. But I didn't want to just delete them all, so I just put them in a save file I wasn't planning on using. So I've had to use my second profile one. Which is mainly just going to be like the very version exclusives, like your Paradoxmons, Dino and Larvitar, I believe, are the main ones. But that's why I don't want to delete my original PLA save, because I've done like the full, so much saved up in there through items, money, all the research I've done already. I'd rather have that as like a backup, so if I do a full reset, it's not really going to take too much away from what I've done in the past. And I do know that it's relatively easy to get through Legends Arceus now. I've nuzlocked it a couple of times, right up to like the Palkia fight. The rule set we were using was when the credits roll is the end, so that's why we've done that in the past. But as I said, I would love to do one where I fully complete all the research tasks, but I kind of like the idea of doing it from the beginning, but I also don't like the amount of work it takes. That's why I'm very, very torn. But the fact that I've got, and if I did want to do it, I would have a long time to do it because of ZA's release date. So I've got probably a good 6 months if I did decide to do it. All the bugs. Why have we got all the blip bugs? Maybe I need to go a bit further this way to delete those three. Come here, Zigzagoon. Oh, not shiny. Let's go right down here a minute. Let's reset everything. But then I did build this Living Dex from a scratched game in about a week, which wasn't too bad. So we know it can be done. As I said, there was no point doing it on my main save because I had already caught all the DA legendaries and all the Reggies, so I needed to have a completely fresh save to do it on. And I still need to do it one more time just to get the other new Reggie, which is another thing that's going to be a pain to get around to dealing with. But I will say, I've mentioned it before, I am a tiny bit disappointed with what I saw from ZA. I feel like it's going to be a lot. It looks pretty, but I think there's going to be a disappointment of the size of the map and the game. But I would love to be proved wrong. That's how I like to look at it. I'm not going in there thinking it's going to be the greatest game ever made. I'd rather be like, oh, actually, it was much better than I thought. Okay, so they're both Ziggies. That's proper. Okay, that was the right one. So the other thing that would be quite fun is if I did like the electric types next. I believe Yampa's one of the very few that's in this game only. But there'll probably be more. I'll probably get proven wrong. So I've got my list set up of what the types are, but just not what's in what game. I focus on that more when we get to the games we're facing. So, for example, when we did this one, we started breaking down where we can catch them all. A lot depending on how well we did, like for this. Like, so we can see we're close to an hour, and well, no shiny. But as we said, we're not really expecting to get a lot in this game. That almost looks shiny, I'm not going to lie. I would love to have got Nickit today. Mentioned I've been going for it for a long time now. Yeah, it's one of, like, if I was to really get into doing shiny hunting in this game, it was one that was the top of the list. So, yeah, that's the thing we're aiming for. See? And that's why I think if I did like evening sessions, it's definitely this game. I don't need to worry remotely about anything else. Like Scarlet and Violet will be easy. There'll be a couple I'll struggle on. Probably Mastiff, because we tried to do Mastiff yesterday and didn't get a single one again. Mainly because we got Eye Jugulus really quickly again. My trend seems to be get the Paradoxmon quickly and then hope for the best. I took a chance on where to go for. We started off with Poochyena, but we went to another location and it gave us lots and lots of Mightyena, so I can't really hunt in that area now. Because I don't really need a second Mightyena. It'll probably get put in the collection, like as we've sort of said, like we will be building giveaway boxes so people can spend channel points for shinies. And as we've also mentioned, we've had two get replaced. Like of the 4 we've got 2 are repeats, so no harm in them being added to the next selection on offer. And I also point out they're not going to be like the greatest and rarest of any of the Pokemon. They're just going to be there, pretty much. But we've also said this is always going to be the hardest game. We knew this from day one when we set this challenge up. This is why we picked it, because we wanted to make sure it included something we wanted. I think having something you would like is kind of important for this challenge. I was tempted to do like the fire types, but because I can't get the elemental monkeys, I thought that's not really worth it. So we settled with this. This seems like the best choice for me. I do love this Zigzagoon. And as I said, I like Nick it. Absol's cool. So this game's not as painful to do when it's the things you kind of like the look of. Okay. Yes, my only overworld like encounters we've ever got is a Guffer Tell out of nowhere. We hunted for, while hunting for the Wobbuffet, then we got the Wobbuffet. And we had been doing like a Whisper hunt. And we got, I want to say like 1,500 encounters. Still never had one, and then we did get one eventually. But then we got Reggie still in about the equivalent of like 3 days of grinding. So it's one of those that's a bit strange that sometimes you just hit things out the park quite quickly, other times. And as I say, I want to get all 3 of the Reggies shiny before doing Lecky or Drago. Oh, that's going to be the random one, isn't it? I'm starting to think Purloin doesn't appear here. Or it's a very rare spawn. As in this game, or the other games. Like, I think this one's got both a mixture of being the easiest one to stream and the hardest one to stream. I would say easiest because you can't really do anything to improve the odds, but the hardest because you'll probably go the longest without a shiny. And when you're doing the streaming, you kind of need to keep things going a lot more. Like when you're doing Legends Arceus, there's always something on the screen going on. Scarlet and Violet, there's a lot to see, but that's why this one can be a bit harder. But then you can do like Dynamax days with people coming to play along. So there's both sides of that. This still has a lot more of the old school style of shiny hunting, doesn't it? Where regardless of the odds, you still are. Yes, Zygarde is still there waiting for you. Maybe when I do the ground types we'll come and attack Zygarde. Because I'm not completely sure whether I want to include all of the legendaries in these type challenges. For this one it's not too bad, there's only 2 like dark types that you can even get in this in legendary form shiny at the moment. So I'm not as worried. But if I did like flying, you've got like straight away you've got the legendary birds. Well, have a good rest of your day. Hopefully you get everything you need for more shiny hunting. And we can finally get one in this game. As we said, it's already quite a challenging game to be playing a long time and not getting a shiny. And I probably could try to do the breeding, but I hate it. I just hate it. And it's even worse in this game because of how long it takes to get the eggs. Are they all gonna be... That's no good. Why if you give me all blip bugs? Ziggy. Let's do some beating up the Ziggies then. Dun, dun, dun. But then the other side of it is, if we get the shiny, it feels like it'll be more of a good reaction. Okay, so that wasn't enough to knock it out. That's good to know. Just the normal zigzag. Well, as we say, we'll try and knock a few more out, see if we can get a little bit better odds. It would be nice to get to probably 100. Let's just double check what Zigzagoon is sat on, or numbers. Like Nickit is 280, Zigzagoon is 16, so yeah, tells you just how bad we've been. I did think there used to be like an Obstagoon that appeared here, which is strange. It's not here at the moment. Even if I had knocked it out, it should still spawn, or is it just a night spawn maybe? But how long can I keep this up? So yeah, we're a long way from the number we need to really make this most efficient. Obviously 500 is the one to get you more of the brilliant aura. So you can see we're about 480 away from that. But they sort of say that, from what I could tell, the research says 100 is kind of the best for the work you have to do. But if we could just get that far, it would be very helpful. It's definitely not the easiest hunt to do. And then sometimes I forget that I need to attack them and just run away, don't I? But this is the other reason why we went for Scarlet and Violet second, so we could puff the numbers a little bit and then work from there. Did not even see that there was a blip bug there. But never mind, right? We knew when we jumped into this was going to be hard. Now, I know from my own experience of hunting for the Whispers, I'm not going to get anything handed to me on this. But the good thing is, the shinies are so noticeable, I don't need to worry. All you're offering there is blip bugs, eh? As I said, the other thing that's that good is I probably don't need the headset on for most of this. Because, well, they're so noticeable, the shines, I don't need to hear the noise. Nothing's going to really change how easy it is to get them, noise and wise. Because this is more of a reddy colour, and Nickit is more of a green. Let's just look at this habitats a bit more, because I don't seem to get much from what said Nickit has to offer me. So it is literally these 3 areas. Is that it? Is it in a wild area? It could be around here with the right weather. But I don't think it will when we're at this level. The sad thing, we're at the end game. The other thing I want to have a quick look at is Absol. I think Absol's in here, isn't it? No, Absol's in this one. I must have caught one. Surely. Surely we've got one Absol from here. Don't know what these are meant to be. Worry about that another day. Should I bring my shiny Mime Junior into this game? Oh no. Well, I know I've seen Absol somewhere before. Where is it? There it is. Where's this habitat? Okay, that was the wrong button. So that is in a couple of places. Actually a lot of places. That's not too bad, but it's mainly in the snow. Not great. We may have to do that when we get the right weather conditions. I don't think it's in the base game, is it? It's not there either. We will probably just look at the weather actually then. See if there is a snowy condition down in the Crown Tundra. Nope. Bright sun, rain. Bit snowy. That's not good. Literally every different weather is just pure sun. So the only one it could be in is here. I believe that's what it said. Where was it? Oh no, it can't even be there. So we can't really get Absol at the moment. That place is the only one I don't remember seeing the weather for. Oh, and the sea. Let's have a look at those two. Otherwise we will just stick to where we are. So yeah, that was very sunny. That was cloudy. Yeah, so I can't believe every single weather condition is warm. That is crazy. What are our weather conditions here? We have snow there, but that's not much good. Lightning now. Oh, that's pure heat. Fog there might be quite good. Up here was the other two, wasn't it? Fog. Nope. Pure sunlight and snow. I don't think they were Nickit weather. So we'll just stick to where we are. So that's not good. Weather is going to affect how easy things are to hunt. So we'll just look for our Ziggy. And maybe we'll do some more research on Nickit. It's probably because when I was doing my other hunts, we had quite a lot of Wooloo in there, so I didn't really realise how rare Nickit was. So I was doing both at once just to see what we could get. Thank you for the follow. Grinding levels up. Welcome to our shiny challenge for the month, where we're trying to get every single dark type in the month of March. Not been the best run so far, I'll be honest. We've got 4 from Scarlet and Violet yesterday. We had none from Legends Arceus. And, well, we've only done about an hour on this game, but I don't expect to get one in an hour. Main hunts today are Zigzagoon or Nickit. I thought we would pick the ones I kind of like rather than the ones that are good to get. So that was the plan, and be interesting to see how well we're doing. So, Ziggy, can you appear for me, please? We need just one more. No, we need all 3 of you, don't we? Oh, this will be what? Oh, Seedot is technically something worth going for. Do need Nuzleaf and Shiftry for this challenge, but they are easy to get in Scarlet and Violet. Yeah, so we will be trying our best to get every single dark type in March, and then if things go well, we will move on to the next game or next type. As I say, we're after Nickit and Zigzagoon today. Or just one of them. Anything is possible, right, in these challenges? And what we're saying is, well, we have got one of the harder games to do today. It's the one I least expect to get a lot of shinies in. Let alone the ones I actually need. But it would be good if we could just check off 1 or 2 while doing this challenge. Like, the plan is to only stream it, not do any in free time as well. What we might do in the free time is try and complete some of the decks for Legends Arceus. But that's pretty much it. And that won't be for the current hunt types, so we won't be doing all the dark types for that. Because you know, and I know, that that's when we'll get the shiny. So that won't be fun. Nick is the one we've been doing more work to get prepared for. Mainly because Route 1, I wanted to try and challenge myself to get something on each route. I was originally going to do a bit of a shiny hunt living decks thing where I was going to play each game or aspects of each game once a day or once a week. So we would have looked at one day of sandwich hunting, one day of this type of random encounters, another day of DAs, maybe a day on Let's Go, and a day on PLA. Just sort of rotating it a bit. May have even been a little bit of work on Legends, BDSP, or static legendaries. But we never really got around to doing that, because it can be frustrating when you're not getting the shinies. So we have to think of something a bit more outside the box, and this was it. I started off doing the 31 hours of shiny hunting in Legends Arceus. So the idea was to spend 1 hour on each map through the month, and there's 5 maps, so you get to flow through all of them. And we did quite well with that. We got 50 something shinies in the 31 hours. The last hour was spent, we did like a goodbye tour on each map, and there was no like resetting for mass outbreaks. It was what turned up in that hour is what we did in that hour. Simple as that. We didn't complicate it in any way. We just kept it at that, and as I said, we did alright. The second challenge was 100 sandwiches in in Violet even. How many shinies could we get? Where we did a Wheel of Fortune to decide what we were going to be hunting for. And it got relatively good midway through, but then suddenly our odds just crashed at the end. Like the last couple of I think there was about 20 hours at the end where we were getting at best like 1 per 4 sandwiches or something silly like that. And I think we stumbled to finish on 79 in 100. So I was a little bit disappointed with that total. Yeah. And then we just did some Let's Plays to cover, so I could do this purely in 1 month at a time. Again, we will be jumping to a different type per month. The goal eventually will be to have our shiny form living decks, which is a long way away from getting, but I think it's worth grinding out doing it this way rather than just targeting something and slowly doing it, because if I focus on it I could probably get it done a lot quicker, but I want to make it more of a journey that we're going to do as a group of people who can enjoy the shiny forms. Right, there's nothing wrong with this method, I don't think. We can have some fun, we can see some good shiny reactions, we can see some shiny fails, probably in Legends Arceus. Basculin, I'm looking at you, you little annoying fish. Where we failed 3 Basculin, I believe, in that challenge. One was technically a bit of a bonus cheat anyway that we shouldn't really been going for, but we did. And one, I literally touched the water, and by the time I touched the water it was gone. It was like, okay, see ya. And the other one was, we missed a Cricketot, which didn't really bother me that much. And the comedy of that is I went round the corner and found my massive outbreak I was meant to be heading for, and we got a macro straight away, so that was good. Bit annoying there's a dark type when we're doing this challenge, but that would have been early January, so we've had a couple of months. And also in this year, we have somehow found 3 alpha shiny Steelixes. That every single one has been that static, and it's been shiny 3 times for me. And it has been crazy with that luck. The first time we were just hunting for Steelix or Onyx, and the other 2 times I was actually only hunting for an Onyx for a bingo challenge that I'm involved in. And sadly, we got this Steelix, which didn't help. I had to get an Onyx for the challenge exclusively, so yeah, that was a little bit annoying. But for this, as we say, like my good luck in Area 0 goes completely against it on here. From what I understand, it should be about 1 in 1,000 on the shiny odds, just with the shiny charm. But I never seem to get close to that number. Now, as I said, I spent nearly 2 weeks trying to get a Wooloo. I think we've beaten nearly like 1,000 Wooloos because we just kept attacking them instead of doing what you're meant to do. Yeah, so Wooloo wasn't my best pick for that, but we were doing Wooloo and Nickit. So we got Nickit up to 300. Zigzagoon was going to be like the next target after those two. So we're a little bit off that and Yamper, but I don't need Yamper for this challenge, so we're not really going to put any focus on it. We'll just continue where we are. We'll check this Zigzagoon just in case. I need to reset, I might have reset the other area actually, so it might be alright. I'm not quite sure how far you've got to go. Yeah, we hadn't reset that. We got Zigzagoon again, then we'll go and reset by the pond. We would like to go by the pond and see how many things we cannot see. Zing. As I say, part of me wants to go back to Route 1 just because there's a few more Nickits. Like, I've noticed Nickits have already been drying up for here. I'm not sure if you can get more by encountering more, but whatever. Tomorrow will be Legends Arceus. It's fine. Like, we like Arceus. It's fun. And then we will go into Scarlet and Violet again. I may try and squeeze my Scarlet run in. Like I said, I've got to do quite a lot in one go on Scarlet, so I'm tempted to try and do that in one session. I've got everything prepared for. I just need to move my catching squad into the game. But I'm still not sure when I'm going to do that. I could do that. Basically, I need to do it once this month. Hopefully get everything in one go. So yeah, that's the bit we're stuck on, to be honest. Trying to decide when to do all the challenges in each game. I sort of set it up so it's every other day. So Saturday should be Legends Arceus, Sword and Scarlet Violet. Sundays Sword will be Monday and Thursday. We generally have Fridays off. The other PLA will be Tuesday, and the other Scarlet and Violet will be Wednesday. And I may do some evening streams because, but I will mostly focus on probably this game because it's a lot harder to shiny hunt in this game than any other game. Not gonna lie. I could do Legends Arceus, but problem is I'm targeting like 3 or 4 exclusive ones to that game. So most notably Spiritomb, that's got to be done in that game. The funny thing is I got the Spiritomb on, I believe, day 1 or 2 of the patch where you get the massive mass outbreaks. Never had another one since. Also Drapion and Oshawott are the main ones in there. The rest are available in other games. Like even Drapion is technically available in this game. It's whether I want to do this with another type. Murkrow is one we were looking at a lot, and Quillfish, but Quillfish is pretty easy to isolate in Blueberry Academy. So that's why I'm not as worried about Quillfish. The other bonus one I put into my challenge was Gyarados, because of the Dark Mega Gyarados is actually Dark type. So that's kind of our madness thinking here. Hopefully it works. But if it doesn't, it doesn't. As simple as that, really. We've done what we can. There is probably something else in there that I have forgotten, but I can't remember what it is. That's why I've forgotten. As I want to do Oshawott in there purely because of Samurott Evo. There is only, if I include the Gyarados, there's only 13 dark types in PLA. Some of the more afoot ones will be like the Stunky line and Murkrow I mentioned. They're in the other games. Not as essential to do in those. But it would be nice to do them in there. So that takes 4 of the 13 off the list. Gyarados makes 5, and they're easy to get in other games. Then, as I said, the Quillfish and Overquill is the next. This is 7 and 6 and 7. Spiritomb is 8. Drapion is 9. Samurott is 10. What's the other 3? What are they? I don't want to look at my list. That's cheating. Oh, Umbreon, again, something's available in the other games. So not as important in there. What is the last one? I feel like it's an evolution line. And I've somehow forgotten. Let's see. What did we say? Murkrow, Hunchcrow, Umbreon. Stunky Stuntank, that's 5. Samurott, 6. Overquill and Quillfish is up to 8. Drapion is 9. Gyarados would be 10. What are we forgetting? What are our dark types? Shiny. Nope. Bug. Worth a shot. And the worst thing was we were playing the game the other day and we had everything ready. We were doing the hunts. And opposed to me is thinking it's going to be something that's really easy to find. So let's see what it is. What is it that's in PLA? Oh, Sneasel. And that's why we're not doing Sneasel in PLA. Yeah, they were Sneasel and Weavile. Because distortions are too difficult to do shiny hunting. Simple as that. I ain't doing those shiny hunting in those. I've actually got the Sneasel shiny out of a space-time distortion. And I don't want to go back and do it again. I was playing around yesterday, a bit scared when I went in them, thinking we could get one. But it's so easy to isolate Sneasel in Sword and Scarlet and Violet, and we'd definitely do a Sneasel in there. That's a complete waste of my time to do it in now. Pokemon Legends Arceus. So that's probably why we were sat at the 11 total. So I'm not losing my mind. I was right with what I said. So the other things, like in this game, we've got our 5 here that we're looking at, which is fine. We do have to do Purloin and Liepard. It's the only game I can get those 2 in. Currently, I was hoping for a Gen 5 remake that might make shiny hunting a bit easier than what it was in Gen 5. We got Pangoro, Absol, and Carvana, which I would, if I could, do on my 3DS, but the key thing is I'm trying to make sure whatever game I pick I can stream, and I cannot stream my 3DS, sadly. So that's why we're not doing the 3DS. Which is fine, like, it's gonna happen. We can't always. If there became a way to do it, we would chain fish and go for it. Because I've got one in the game already in the past, but only the Carnivore. I like my chain fishing in X and Y. It's pretty easy to do, so that's why I don't really mind doing it. So that's where we are with our challenge. Like, as I say, we're working towards the form decks, which the number says we're at just under 300, but there are a lot that I haven't transferred out of games yet. So like for this, I have Loudred ready to move out, and Reggie still, and that's only 2, but it's still 2 more than what we had in Legends Arceus. I am still building a shiny living dex in game too, so it's there, it's being done, so we have to just remember that when we actually play that game. So there's a few that are not placed in anywhere, ready to be put into the full living form dex yet. I try my hardest to keep up with everything that I'm doing, but I like to keep all the Pokemon in one box per challenge, and then at the end of the challenge we move them out to their new home, in whichever, whether it be the spare box, the giveaway box, or the proper living dex. So like, once I have more than 2, I tend not to worry about having backups. That's why I'm doing the thing where you can spend channel points to get free shinies. I was tempted to do like gifted subs, but I think that's a bit risky, because people might get one and then think, why can't I have that one? It's like, well, the box is going to be available. People can pick what they want out of it. But this one, I don't actually have one in this game yet. But it would have to be that game's box to trade in. So if it was on Legends Arceus, you have to trade with a Legends Arceus box. Scarlet and Violet, that you don't get to pick what I go and hunt. You literally get to pick one out of that box. If there's nothing you want, we can wait until we refill the box and change games maybe. But you can't get frustrated if you don't get what's available, really. I make it quite clear that it has to be from the game we're currently playing. But as you can see, this game does take a lot out of you, because you're not really doing too much in the shiny hunts. You are literally walking around and hoping for the best. But again, this is how people would shiny hunt in the past. The benefit is I can see them in the overworld, which is a bit more of a benefit for me, not for people who used to do it when they were only doing the random encounters. As we said, we targeted these 2. The other thing we could do is do like a bit on each, like change it up a bit. Like, you know, we're going to change up a little bit. We've done an hour and a half on these 2 and not got anything. I'm going to see whether we got any Pangoro or at least Pancham and Purloin in here. The only bad thing about this is everything is now level 60. So I don't expect to get very much out of here, because this bit is usually just the early weaker stuff, shall we say. I mainly could only see Manetrix, just fine. Like, this is a thunderstorm weather, so we do understand that is going to be a thing. So we'll head to the next area. I think the next one was like fog, so we're going to just do this one just to see if we get lucky. I think that's a no. I think it's like redder, this one. But this is the sort of one, this is the one everyone kind of likes for their shiny hunting because it can have scrappy, so it can hit the ghosts with full swipe. So what do we have here? Dappled Grove. That looks like Purloin. Nice. We don't have many of these beaten either, so our odds are not good on this one. We can spend a bit of time on these. No harm in it if we did like half an hour or so on each thing and move on to the next. Good variety is what we're hunting. As we do know, we need to get them all. So, see how our luck is. Purloin. I'm not quite sure what a Purloin shiny looks like though. That's the other thing that's a little bit worrying. But there's so many to pick from here, which is good. I'll have a quick Google to have a look to see what this looks like. Otherwise we may not get what we're looking for, so it looks like it's slightly lighter colour. Okay. Next we're in fog, so we won't be able to put it to sleep, I think. Oh, there are ropes here. At least I know what that one looks like, shiny. Like a light blue head. Because the comedy for this was, when I was doing Legends Arceus, I was hunting, when I was doing my map tours, I was doing the bit where you go up through the Snow Point Temple, and I heard the shiny noise at the glade thinking, ooh, and it turned out it was just the ropes. I wasn't too happy with that. I did get a little bit excited. Let's put some music back on while I play now. Mainly because I'm not 100%, as we say, the shiny's very similar, so I kind of want to be able to see this one, or hear it when it sparkles. But as long as we avoid the routes, we've got like this is a much nicer area to do the hunting. What the final thing we'll probably do for today will be to check what the lady in the Dynamax Adventures is offering. If she is offering new Veltal, we will snatch that off her quickly. But the other reason why I might not do the legendaries is the fact that when I do the next type, so when I do flying type for example, I won't be able to do Yveltal again, so that's kind of why I'm thinking maybe not do the legendaries as essentially, which would bump us down a few more. We mentioned there's 82 altogether, but I can only officially get 71, And that is the ruined Pokemon Galarium Ultras, Urshifu, Zarude, and Hooper Unbound completely unavailable. Elsewhere there's Darkrai, which I cannot personally get because I didn't unlock the pass for BDSP. And also, strangely enough, is the Alola, Rattata and Raticake not available. So yeah, that's a thing. Good old Purloin. But hopefully we can get some luck on our side. Oh no, there's Hoot Hoots here too. So I think the main sort of goal will be to get to the 2 hours and see how well we're doing. We don't need Hoot Hoot, do we? What else just in the grass? C-Dot again. C-Dot's everywhere. What are they doing everywhere? Why are they just waiting in the grass for me? Go Purloin. Are you shiny, my friend? No, you're not. You're just a giant disappointment, like the rest that we've bumped into. But as we mentioned, this is always, and it's been said a lot, this is going to be the hardest game to do for all of this shiny hunting. I think if I ever just get to the stage where I could get one a day on Scarlet, on Sword and Shield, I would be happy. But I do feel like I'll be lucky to get one in the whole challenge, just because of how crazy the odds are. But it also depends how long I make the sessions, I guess. Like Nuzleaf. We will see those Nuzleaf just because they are something we could get. Which is fine. Like, I don't mind. Anything that is something that's on our list is on our list for a reason. Nuzleaf is easier in Scarlet and Violet, but we might as well look just to clear the small ones. We had a little look at Nuzleaf yesterday actually, but then we saw that it was night time, so we went for the Mightyena. At least we pulled that one out. So that was good. So we have our hunts continue on. Let's see how well we do. I don't like that these Hoot Hoots are coming to interrupt me again. They already messed up one of my hunts in the past. I just hope they don't do it again. It seems sensible to mix up what we're going for, just because if I only target Nickit or say Zigzagoon for 2 hours and then the next time we do another 2 hours, like if we do maybe half an hour on each, and then we're not really going to increase our odds, but we're not going to decrease them too much. So let's just stick with it, see where we end up. Hoot Hoot. Go away, Hoot Hoot. We don't need you. You're not this challenge, you're the next challenge, maybe. But flying type is one that I'm kind of put off by due to a couple being Let's Go exclusives. Not a fan of playing Let's Go. So I'm slowly like eliminating the types to be the ones I only like. Like, it's fun. It is fun that I'm just picking the ones I like, but like I'm thinking maybe I was going to do grass for spring, but then I got torn by the fact I can't get the elemental monkeys. So. It seemed a bit pointless for me to go for something where I couldn't get all of them guaranteed. Once I had finished setting everything up for this, I then realised I couldn't do the Alolan Rattatas and Relegates, but at the end of the day, they're not the most essential. There is a soft way I could do it, but I don't really like the idea. And that would be soft resetting in Let's Go, but I would have to do it once and then do a brand new save and do it again. And that would be 1 in 4,000, so not that appealing to me. As we said, we'll look to get to the 2-hour mark and see how things are going, and probably stop for today, I think. I do want to put a bit of focus in trying to complete some of the Pokédexes in Legends Arceus, to be honest. I'll probably try to do everything, but not. But then I could also do the brand new save where we are starting from scratch and doing them all, which again I feel like could be something to be done on stream. I've seen a few other people doing it, but I feel like it would be one that would be quite good to record minimum, let alone stream. But at the moment we're working on one project at a time. So we could do that in April, you never know. There is a glowy, brilliant aura one. That is not shiny. Worth a shot, right? You never know. But as I said, like, I would expect to struggle on this game. It's one of those that you know is going to take a long time. So you just got to be prepared that it's going to take a long time. And the problem is the newer games have made it feel a lot easier to get shiny, so this doesn't actually take as long as the older games, strangely enough. But it's kind of just been drilled into you that it's easy now. Probably why I never really did too much shiny hunting in the past, and I didn't really play the games until all the DLC was actually out on this game. That is when I first returned to the franchise. I had done a few of the ROM hacks over the years, but I had stopped after Ruby had come out and not touched Gen 4, 5, 6 or 7 at the time. Never really knew much about them either, so while I have played through 6 and 7, well 7 once, 6 a couple of times, there's a lot I probably haven't done in that game. Badoo, what are you doing here? As I said, there's a lot we haven't done in like 6, but because they closed the online stuff, there's not much I can do in them anymore. Like, I did buy them up for another challenge I was doing, which never really happened, but my crazy theory of a challenge would have been to beat every mainline game with different Pokemons in each gym. So that would mean Kanto would get done 7 times, and I couldn't use the same Pokemon in any of those gyms. And then like the Elite Four would be another team. It's a very ambitious one, but that would also include the 5 Johto, the 5 Hoenn, the 5 Sinnoh, the 4 Unova, 2 Kalos, 4 Alola, 2 Galar, and the 2 Paldea. So yeah, a very, very ambitious idea. It did seem doable, and also it wouldn't have been a Nuzlocke. Like, the idea was to try and just do every single one and work our way back from there. But then I got sort of torn between whether to do one gym at a time, like first gym in each game. And I'd done a few bits of it, but never really got too far into it. I don't think I ever got past all of the first gyms. But I thought it was an interesting concept. There's a brilliant aura, but not a shiny brilliant aura. Nope. But as we said, we may do a bit of this in some evening sessions too, because, well, it's a long challenge. I don't want to just trim myself to the 2 to 3 hours we want to look to do in the daytime. Like, why not take use of the evenings? Like, I seem to be doing less and less in the evening, so why not add something to the mix? But I do think we're going to end today with nothing. But then, as we said, we can't really be too ambitious with it. We knew early on it was going to be hard. All the ropes are running away, which is nice. What we had a bit of fun was when we were doing the bigger challenges, we were very rarely going a day without a shiny, especially in the sandwich one. In the Legends Arceus one, there were some strange days. We would have some days where we would get like 6 or 7, and the next day we would get 0. So it works both ways, really. I'm just going to have a look around the rest of the wild area just to see if there's any dark spawns, like static one-offs. Might as well do them while we can. You're not dark, you're no fun, but sometimes there's a shift tree. Yes, there is a shift tree. Don't think that's shiny. But again, it's worth having a little peek to see. There's a few that do turn up, and a few that don't. So that's kind of going to be like the final part of today. I'm just going to explore, see what else is around. Right. Here is mainly ghosts, which is why I'm Delibirds today. Don't really want to put too much time into Delibird hunting. What else is here? clinks. Ooh, the snowstorm presents us with clinks. So that's something to learn for steel types. I don't really want to go to Axu's Eye because I don't think they ever have anything I need. This area generally is pretty bad for the types I want. And there is a Bishop sometimes around here. So I'm going to just peek around that. And there's sometimes like a Lipard. On the way to the bridge. Yeah, there's always Joltix then. I think you could get Stunky here, so we may check the Stunky if there's statics. Yeah, there's one, might have a look. Don't think so. Usually it's more reddish, what I remember Stunky having. Gotta remember weather in this game. Weather in hell, we cannot full swipe. Okay, so nothing there. As we said, there may be a Bishop over here. I think I remember seeing one, two. But it's a rotating spawn, isn't it? In this area? Yeah, there's the Bishop. Not a difficult one to get in Scarlet and Violet, so not that essential anyway, but worth a peek, if we're honest. Always good to check out. So back we go this way. We want to check the Lipard. I hope there's one there. Could be. Generally around here somewhere. What do we got? The toads. Pretty much just toads. There we go. I knew there was a Lipard here. Always worth double checking, you never know. Yeah, I think that was a no. Yeah, that was a no. We have the thunderstorm. Isn't going to make this easy. Sometimes an obstacle around here somewhere. It kind of depends on the weather. Sneasels. So I don't really want to do Sneasel in this game. It's so much easier in Sword and Shield, Scarlet and Violet. What else could be here? Bridgefield usually has a crazy Linoon here. Might as well check it out while it's doing its crazy run around us. Where's it gone? Worth a try. Not a shiny, as I said, it's more of a reddy colour when it's shiny. I think that's actually it for the spawns. Like, don't think any more dark type spawn in the statics. I guess it's worth double checking a few of the weather scenarios. Was Nickit really going to turn up in any of these areas? Dusty Bowl. Apparently Sneasels. What's here? Hippowdons. Yeah, so we've seen that there's not really too many. When it's fire to the Growlithe, okay. Yeah, so we've seen that there's not too much to work with around here, so we're just going to do what I seem to like doing is actually saving the game while I'm at home. But that's going to be it for today. Didn't have much luck to start this game, sadly, but hey ho, we knew it wasn't going to be easy. We're just happy that we got 2 hours out the way trying to get something, so tomorrow we'll go back to Legends Arceus so we can have a bit more freedom and enjoy ourselves a bit more. So thank you all for watching.